I keep saying that this is going to be the year for me to use up a lot of my makeup. I'm on a replacement only no-buy this year as well, which is definitely going to help with that, and that means that I am only allowed to buy a piece of makeup if I finish off everything else within the same category. So for example, if I finish off all of my mascaras and I don't have a backup, I'm then allowed to go and buy myself a mascara. And eventually I do want to get down to a much smaller makeup collection. I currently have 92 products. That is far too many for me. I don't want to own that many makeup products, and I want to get down to a much smaller, more curated, minimalist makeup collection. And I've been thinking what makeup would be included in that, and are there any categories of makeup that I just wouldn't buy from again. And that's really what this video is about. I've got notes on my phone and I've got 7 categories that I don't think that I would buy makeup from again. So I want to go through those 7 categories and kind of explain my reasonings why. I have done a couple of videos like this in the past, so it is kind of interesting to look back on those and see if I am still aligned with those, or whether actually no, the current stage that I'm in at the moment, I would actually buy those categories again. But looking at this list now, I don't think that these products make up a smaller, more curated makeup collection of mine. So let's go through what these are. So first up is primer. I think you can just get away with putting on a very hydrating moisturiser. Now, I have a primer that I absolutely love. It is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I've used a little bit of this. I currently have 3 of these in my collection, which is very excessive. And I don't think that I necessarily need to buy a separate primer. I can just get away with using a moisturiser, and like I say, I love this primer. It's brilliant, it does a great job, it's very hydrating, but it is actually just a moisturiser. And for my skin and my needs, where I've got a bit more of a dehydrated sensitive skin type now, I don't think I need a makeup primer. I think I can just get away with a moisturiser. So either buying a moisturiser that is something like the Embryolisse one, or whether just applying another layer of my moisturiser, whether that is all that I need to act as a primer. During the week when I am working, I don't put on a primer. I put my makeup on a few minutes after putting on my final skincare step, which is my SPF, and I feel like my makeup doesn't look that different in comparison to the weekends where I put on a primer first. So I don't think it's really that kind of necessary, because I'm putting on my makeup very soon after a hydrating skincare product. So I think I could probably get away with not buying any primer again in the future. As much as I love this one, it is expensive, and like I say, I think I can just get away with using a moisturiser in its place, because that is essentially what this is. It's not a makeup product in itself, although I'm using it like that. This is actually a moisturiser, all-in-one primer and moisturiser they call it. I do have 5 primers within my collection currently, so I do want to use all of them up, and then once I have used them all up, I am going to think, actually, do I need any, do I not? And I will probably go for a little while without having any primers and just using some moisturiser in its place and seeing what the end result is like. The next one is one that I know that I don't want to be buying any more of, and it is foundation. I think the whole clean girl aesthetic, the minimalist makeup looks, has kind of coincided with me getting a little bit older and moving more into my 30s, and kind of realising that I don't really need to wear foundation, and I don't want to wear foundation. It doesn't work well with my skin anymore. Like I've just said, my skin is more dehydrated and sensitive than it was in comparison to my 20s when it was a bit oilier. So I don't feel like I need a foundation, because it just feels very heavy, despite the fact that I go for lightweight foundations as well. It just feels like there's too much product on my face. I feel like it dries my face a little bit, and where I've had CC creams, tinted moisturisers, you know, the L'Oreal tinted serum, I much prefer how those look on my face and how they feel as well. They feel a lot more hydrated, a lot more luminous, and a lot more lightweight and natural. I think I've got about 7 foundations in my collection at the moment, and like with primers, that is far too many. I don't need that many foundations, and it does actually take longer than you think to use up a foundation. I always thought it would take about 2 months to use up a foundation, and that is wildly wrong. It takes a lot longer. So A lot of my foundations are now either out of date or they're coming to be out of date very soon, so I need to get them used up. And I have 3 proper foundations, as in they're not, you know, skin tints or BB creams, CC creams. I've got the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, which is a beautiful foundation. It really, really is lovely. It looks lovely on the skin, but it is just still foundation all over my skin, and I don't need foundation all over my skin. Sometimes I just need a little bit where there's blemishes or where I need a little bit of evening out. I don't want something all over my face. I've then got another Giorgio Armani one. This is the Power Fabric Plus. Not tried this one before. This was a sample that I got with a perfume at Christmas. This one is going to be my holiday foundation, I think, because it's a great little mini size. But again, I don't want a foundation like this, and this is described as being a matte foundation, so this one could be potentially a bit heavy. And then I've got a really lightweight one, which is the NARS Sheer Glow, and again this is a beautiful foundation because it's quite luminous and radiant, but it is still heavier than, say, my L'Oreal Tinted Serum or my Aborian CC cream that I've got. And I just don't like how many products I'm putting onto my face when I do my makeup and how it's feeling. I've got a full face on now and it's good for camera, but when I'm not filming I'm like, oh, this is a lot of makeup. So I do want to tone down the base and use products that are a lot more lightweight and are a bit more targeted to areas where I just need more coverage. The next category is only a new category that I've recently discovered and brought into my makeup collection and part of my makeup routine, and it's finishing powders. I have found it a bit difficult to find a powder that can like truly mattify and tone down the shine on my T-zone, and so I was watching some TikTok videos about the different types of powders, and people were saying how a finishing powder is a good way to finish off your makeup. So not related at all to like an oily T-zone and setting your makeup, but a finishing powder is a good way to add a bit of like life back into your makeup routine once you're done doing your makeup. So I thought, oh, that would be quite good. I've not tried a finishing powder before, let's try one. And I bought 2. I bought a mini Hourglass one, which is the Ambient Lighting Powder Diffuse Light. This is the one that's in my project pan because it's a mini and I'm probably going to use this one a lot quicker than the full size one, which is by MAC. This is the Mineralized Skin Finish Natural in the shade Light. Now, when I first used both of these, I thought, yeah, I think I can see a difference. I think my makeup looks a bit more lifelike. I think there's a bit more, you know, radiance brought back into my skin. It's not as flat. But now that the Hourglass one is part of my daily makeup routine because it's in my project pan and I'm trying to use it up, I'm not noticing that anymore. I'm not noticing that it's adding anything to the end result, or it's, you know, completely changing how my makeup looks at the end. So I don't know whether it's me just not using these products right. I think I am, because I did, you know, have a look on TikTok as to how to properly use a finishing powder, and makeup artists were saying, yep, just get a brush and just swirl it all over your face at the end when you're done, and that's what I do. So I don't know whether I really need these or not. I think they're a little bit superfluous. They're a bit unnecessary as part of my routine. So I am thinking now, because I've only used the MAC one about 3 times, shall I just sell it? Do I really need it? And then I'll just keep the Hourglass one and finish that one off. But yeah, I don't think that this is something that my makeup collection needs. So I think I can kind of get away in the future with not buying any finishing powders. I think the next category will be of no surprise to people who regularly watch my videos, but highlighter is another category of makeup that I don't think I want to keep buying. I have 2 in my collection. This one is an Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm tub, but inside I have emptied out my Vive Skin Dew, which is a liquid highlighter. It's a lovely yellow warm gold and it adds a really beautiful sheen on your face. I mix this into body lotion and on my body it then goes glittery, but it's not glittery on my face, so that's a little bit weird. And then the next one is by Merit. I have opened this and started to use it. This is the Day Glow Highlighting Balm in Citrine. Will this swatch on my hand, can you see that? Is that showing up? I'm not sure. The Merit one is nice. I've only used it a few times, so I haven't really got much of an opinion on it, but I feel like my face doesn't need a lot of shimmer and a lot of sheen. Where I'm an autumn and the makeup style should be quite muted and toned down, adding something that's very shimmery and shiny just looks a little bit off. And also I've always been more of a fan of a very natural toned down slight sheen on the face instead of like a bright blinding line of glittery shimmery highlighter. I like it to be a lot more natural, so the Merit one is good for that, but I haven't used this much recently because again I feel like highlighter is a bit unnecessary within my collection. That's also why I've now started mixing the Vive one in with body lotion, because I don't feel like I need to add a highlighter to my routine. I have a powder one on at the moment actually, but I don't think that I want to buy more highlighters. I've tried the Vive one, I've got the Merit one, I've got an Hourglass one. They're all lovely, they're all brilliant products, and they're all some of the best highlighters that I've tried, but I just don't think that it's part of my routine and it's a makeup product that I want to keep kind of spending my money on. The next category may also not be a surprise to regular viewers, and it's eyeshadow palettes. I have a lot of eyeshadow on today, but that's because I'm trying to use up a couple of eyeshadow palettes this year. Now, I appreciate a good eyeshadow palette. I can look at palettes like the 2 by Makeup by Mario, some of the Natasha Denona ones, or any eyeshadow palettes and go, that is a beautiful palette, that looks absolutely lovely. But I've now gotten to the point where I can go, I like this palette, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but I don't need it. I don't need to bring it into my collection. So I'm pleased that I am at that point, because I have kind of succumbed to a couple of pretty eyeshadow palettes in the past, but I now don't do that, which is great. And I also don't think that once I've finished this year and finished this year's challenge of using up a couple of eyeshadow palettes, that I want to add any more into my collection. I very much like a one shade and done, which is definitely not what I've done today, but I like that because it's easy. Requires very minimal skills and technique, and I'm not very good at doing eyeshadow. So yeah, it's easy, it's quick, it's simple. So I think I would rather get a few different shades as singles, and then that will be my eyeshadow palette. I'm not a massive lover of eyeshadow anyway. I'm much more into makeup like blusher and lip products. Lip products is where I like to be a bit more creative, add a bit more kind of variety and diversity within like the products themselves and the shades, whereas eyeshadows, I don't really do that. I like to keep things very simple with my eyeshadow, and I get a bit overwhelmed when I have too many. And I have 3 eyeshadow palettes at the moment, which judging by, you know, YouTube sort of standards is very minimal, but even this is too much for me because they are all the same sort of shades. They are all warm shades, browns, golds, coppers, oranges, bronzes, the types of shades that I like to wear, so I'm happy about that. But as I'm showing you them, you can see that they're all the same, and I do not need this many of the same colours of eyeshadow at all. In an ideal world, in my ideal minimal makeup collection, I would probably have about 6, because I could have like a matte ivory, a warm mid-brown for the crease, I could have a dark brown as an eyeliner if I wanted to, and then I could have like a couple of shimmery shades. So I could have like a shimmery champagne one, a shimmery gold one, and then maybe like a bronze, and that would be it. I have those colours within these palettes, but I have lots of them within these palettes. So I'm trying to use up this year this Revolution one. There are 6 shades in here, and then I'm trying to also use up this ABH palette as well, and then that will leave me with this Vive palette. But I've been thinking recently what to do with this palette, whether actually this year I want to try and sell it or pass it on to somebody else, because I think once I've used up these 2, I then don't think that I want to have another palette within my collection. I think I just want to maybe go a while with wearing really, really minimal makeup, maybe just a bit of bronzer through the eyes. So I don't really want this one to kind of sit here for the next year, not getting used much whilst I work on these 2. So I'm torn with this one. I also don't know if I can sell this because I have hit pan in 3 shades, so it is used. So I don't know what to do. Please let me know what you think I should do with this palette, because I really am torn, and it is a new thing that I've started to think about, so I haven't actually made a decision at all. It's just something that I'm starting to question what I want to do with this palette. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions, let me know. Next category is one that I might have said in one of these types of videos that I filmed before in the past, and it's eyeliner pencils. I currently have 5, and I like the 5 that I have. I think they're all really lovely, but like with eyeshadow, I don't really wear I was going to say I don't really wear eyeliner that much, but I do because I'm trying to use it up. But if I had that ideal makeup collection, I wouldn't really wear eyeliner because I'm not very good at it. And also I don't have much visible lid space, so when I do put eyeliner on, I feel like it closes up my eyes a little bit. And I like, when I do wear eyeliner, for it to be very, very soft, so a dark brown eyeshadow is kind of my preference, not a liner like this. But I am a sucker for eyeliner pencil marketing. I have 3 by Victoria Beckham here, and I was tempted by these for so long, and they are beautiful, but at the end of the day, it's just an eyeliner, that's all it is. Excellent quality though, beautiful shades, but these are quite pricey. And then I have a couple here that are in my project pan. I've got a dark brown that I use on the upper lash line, but I don't really want to be wearing this pencil that much at the moment. I haven't put on any today because I finished my eyeshadow and went, I quite like it as it is. I think putting on an eyeliner pencil is going to ruin it in a way. And then I've also got a nude one for the waterline, which I don't mind, but again, in my ideal makeup collection, there's not a place for that. There's not a place for any of these eyeliner pencils. As lovely as they are, the quality is excellent, really easy to blend, they're soft, they don't tug on my eyelids, lovely to use, they really are. Victoria Beckham, these 3, this one is Kiko, and then this one is Peaches and Cream, and I would recommend all of them. I just don't think that it's something that's part of my daily makeup routine in an ideal world. So I do have these 2 in my project pan, and then I do also as well want to use up these 3 by Victoria Beckham this year. And then once I have used up all of them, I'm then going to think, realistically, do I need to add any more into my collection in the future? And I really don't think that I do need to as well. I'm not going to buy any more liquid eyeliners as well, because I had one in the past and I had a similar thing, it closed up my eyes. You've got to be really precise and really good when you use a liquid liner. I do also have a gel eyeliner by Bobbi Brown. I don't use it that often. It is quite nice. It's better to use than a liquid one, but the colour is a little bit too dark. It's meant to be like a chocolate brown, but it is quite a dark shade. So I don't think that I would have any eyeliners as part of my ideal makeup collection. And then the last one is one that is going to be very easy for me to not buy any more of in the future. It is a liquid lip. I only have one in my collection. I've got some of it on today with a gloss on top. This is also in my project pan. It's by House of Colour and it's in the shade Nearly Nude. It's a lovely, very easy to wear, natural, warm brown pink, so it's a really lovely colour, and the formulation of this is lovely as well. However, the reason that I don't want to buy any more liquid lips in the future is because they are slightly drying. I do have to go in over the top with a lipstick or balm or a lip gloss to make it feel a little bit more comfortable, and that's my preference as well at the moment. I really do like hydrating lip products. I like a hydrating makeup routine overall, but especially lip products. Products like the Hourglass Glossy Lip Balm I love. I like wearing lip gloss a lot at the moment as well, so I don't like anything that's too matte and too drying and too kind of like harsh. I like something with a bit of gloss in it or a bit of hydration. So I think a product like this, once I've used this up, this will be very easy for me to not buy any more of. I do love my lip products. It's my favourite sort of category within my makeup collection, but liquid lips, no. Really do like this product though, and if you are into liquid lips, the House of Colour ones are really lovely, but once I've used this up, I will not be buying anymore. So those are the 7 makeup categories that I do not want to be buying any more of in the future. So if you have any that you wouldn't buy in the future, please let me know down below. It's always interesting to see answers to things like this, because where I've said in the past that I'm not really an eyeliner pencil person, I've had people say eyeliner is an absolute must in my makeup collection. I don't leave the house wearing eyeliner, so it's always really interesting to see what other people have to say. So yeah, please let me know. But I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again very soon for my next one.